Thank you, Ron. Good morning, Heart and Soul. So, there is so much excitement in my life. Can I just say that part? And very specifically, the excitement around Heart and Soul is that we have a new website. It's worthy of a cheer or a clap or something. Somebody could at least say amen. Yes, that part. Yes. And what I know is that many of you have not yet seen it. And so I'm going to charge you with taking a look at our website, heartsoulcenter.org. I am so pleased, so proud of the work, the team, first of all, and the work and the way that it's showing up. What you see on the screen now is just a small part of it. This would be, a lot of times I might chastise y'all while I'm talking and y'all are looking at your phones, but go ahead, do that. This is an exception. This is absolutely an exception. If you're at home, do that. Do a split screen, whatever you have to do. Open another window. Y'all know what to do to bring other stuff up. You do it all the time when you're on Zoom with other meetings and such. I know you. I do. So go online, see our new website. It is your way of knowing what's going on, to see us the way we see ourselves, but also an opportunity to check in and see what's going on. Now, I still appreciate that you're going to call somebody and ask them, but as you do so simultaneously, check the website. So you'll have the correct answer and then whatever anybody else tells you. So it will tell you it's from who's who in our organization, what's happening, and how to keep up with us. So there's a calendar there. There are a number of things. And it is with great respect and gratitude and appreciation that I want to acknowledge the website team for their leadership, for their professionalism, for their creativity, and most of all, for their commitment to our highest vision for how we present ourselves. And so that team is led by Ron Marshall, who you just heard, and his co-lead is Sheila Lewis, who's also the president of our board, our leadership council. Sisters Kathy and Sally Dew, who do this professionally as 2 plus 2. And it's obvious. You wouldn't know it was 2 plus 2, but you would know that somebody's in there doing something that they do all the time and with excellence. Yes? So I'm grateful to both Kathy and Sally Dew, Janice Richmond, and Damali Robertson. I have to tell you, an amazing team. A part of the process early on was when I learned that they were a bit challenged with our logo last year. And we ended up working and this I have to say, with an advertising background, that we turned around a new logo, new branding, faster. This is like the history of humankind. But it was because of their dedication, them seeing the vision, and a willingness, the team's willingness to do whatever was required in order to do it. So you see the logo, what we were about to do is paint the building. And when we realized that we had 2 different things going on, the merging of that let me know right away the quality of this team and the possibilities that awaited us. So, yes, y'all have already been to the site or you're going. Yes? Thank you. I see some of y'all are showing me your phone. That's a good thing. Yes. Thank you to the team. Let's salute them with great respect and love and appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so this is a way of saying that this door is open. Our website door is now open to receive you, but also our door is open. And so I'm going to call forth Eddie Watkins Jr. because When we first began in 2009, it was shortly after that I was familiar with Eddie's work, and in particular, this door is open. I got to greet you, my brother, just properly. Yes. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. So way back when, we would open our services. This is, in 2009, 2010, and for the ensuing years, we opened our services with this song, and it was a time that we greeted each other. And yes, it was a time that we connected. So I'm going to invite y'all to do this. I know some of us still have our COVID Jones on. And so we're still not touching and not moving close, and I could lead a little club in that. But I'm going to ask that we use this time and this magnificent song to greet each other and connect, yes? All right, let's do it, Eddie.
Come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent, come and share a hug, come let's pray together, come love and be loved. From the blessed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone, and someone cares for you as an individualization of divine point of view. This door, oh, this door right here is open for you. Talking about this door, I said this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. Good to go? You got my band ready for me? We cool? All right, let's do it. Come on, let's turn that up a little bit. All right. There we go. Everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is gonna change. Everything is an inside job. You may have to dig deeper to mind what will release you. This feeling that you had that left you feeling sad. There's nothing you can have outside yourself to fix it. And that's the reason why sometimes we have to cry to let it all go. Be still and know everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is going to change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. This may be hard to take, but some things you tend to hate is not a God mistake. Placed here to be corrected. Every player has a role to make this world a whole, not for us to control. Be still and know everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is gonna change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. Everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is gonna change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. Everything. Oh, everything is an inside job. Well, I said everything. Everything is an inside job. Thank you.
Eddie Watkins Jr. In here turning out heart and soul. I love you. Yes. Thank you, Eddie Watkins Jr. Eddie, you have been a favorite of ours since the beginning. When so many of us, so many folks in the congregation and folks who would show up, all we knew of yours was this door is open. Oh, but baby, when you came in 2013, we were celebrating our 4th anniversary. So we were just babies. But Lord, did we party. Turned it out with a Motown review. I mean, we were all up in it, yes. I was just thinking, because, you know, it doesn't take much for us to hop into some drag. All we need is like half an excuse. And you gave us like 28 reasons. And so we dressed up and we lip sang and we partied. And there are photos that I would be willing to buy of some of us. I'm sure some of us would chip in because, you know, when in the moment, it's all that. Later upon review, we're a little more scrutinizing about our behavior and our looks. So now I might have to just put a little fun together for that, but I'm off point. What I want to share with y'all, because now I'm thinking like, oh, Lord, yes, I might have to give that a little attention. But for right now, I'm going to attend to your lyrics. Because what I heard Eddie sing, and then he got us into background singers as well, supporting the chorus, everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is going to change. Everything is an inside job. But look at here, this part right here. You may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. What will release you? You may have to. He kind of comes in soft on that, doesn't he? He does. He kind of comes in soft. So you'll listen to the rest of it maybe. But the truth is you're going to have to. He says what? You may have to dig deeper. I'm going to up-level it, Eddie. You're going to have to dig deeper. You're going to have to. It's the nature of the game. In order to discern what will free you, what will open you so that you can be available to the divine blessing that I hope we know is. We know that we are this year, well, for past few years, acknowledging that this is an adventure in faith. That whatever we are experiencing is an adventure in faith. And that this year we are reminding ourselves and each other that this stuff works. That the stuff that we are studying and endeavoring to practice, it works. But you know what? It only works if you do it. I mean, you can hang out and be around folks who do it, be around folks who are meditating and praying and singing and affirming and doing all the things. And that would be better than not being around them. But I want you to know that's not your ticket to ride. Your ticket to ride is you engaging in the practice at whatever level you can. Now, you know this, this ministry and the way it unfolds in me is just real and sometimes, unfortunately, pretty curbside. Y'all know, just, you know, it's like living on mic. And I don't know how I signed up for this or if I really did. But the reality is that my life unfolds in these teachings. The container for my life is these teachings which began for me, somebody else is going to have to do the arithmetic, about 1982. Dark night of the soul, and knowing there had to be something else. And something else sure enough appeared. And I've been practicing to the best of my ability since then. But this is not a mountaintop ministry. So, you know, there's a part of me that thinks that, no, I don't even think this, I'm faking that. There are some of you who would want to conclude, like since 83. Did somebody do the arithmetic? What is that? Oh, Lord. I was obviously 5 years old. When I hear that number, I know I could only have been 5. But whatever I was, somebody could conclude after 43 years, or 42 or whatever it is, 42 years, surely, I mean, it appears, Reverend Andriette, that your feet are literally touching the ground now, but they couldn't be after 42 years, because clearly you are gliding through life. You better ask somebody, because that's not so. I am forever falling down. And I had a whole period of time where I forgot what the practice was, where I forgot to use the resources that are readily available to me. Even though I would be reading, I was just reading. You know, even though I was affirming, I was solely affirming. I was not, my heart was closed. And my mind must have been too. I mean, you know, 20/20 vision when you look back, year before last and the year before that, and whatever it was. But in the moment, it was dangerous to be in my presence. So I say that to say, this requires practice. And it requires practice all the time. Now, here's what I know by my own life. I can't do it all the time. I have not done it all the time. There were those times when somebody could, I'm just glad I wasn't anywhere where somebody touched me on the shoulder and say, aren't you the Reverend Doctor? Pardon me. You over there with your face twisted up. You over there about to say something to somebody about somebody. You, aren't you the one who? It's about breathing in every moment. So look, because I had that experience, here's what I did with it. I learned from it. I learned from it, and I'm endeavoring to put in the shifts and changes, the upgrade on my life and the way I see life and the way I meet life. Because life shows up. And then it's up to each and every one of us to discern and decide, how am I going to meet life? What am I going to say to life? Because life's just doing life. So in our leadership circle, we meet monthly, and this month we decided, I suggested, all right, I assigned our May 11th reading. So we are reading, our daily read, as you know, is 365 days for richer living. And it's not until recently that I get that it's aptly titled. You know, I just used to say it, but I didn't pay attention to the title. What I know now, in a different level of practice, that it really is 365 days for richer living. So now if you're not interested in living any richer, ignore this part. Just be humming to yourself Eddie's song. But for those of you who are interested in living life more richly, then I encourage you to just get in where you fit in. You know, the days are numbered and it's identified. You could start with today if you chose. Or you could just open it and start working with whatever Spirit offers you in the moment, yes? So we're rocking and rolling with May 11th, the title of which is, my title, because I kind of edit. Once I buy the book, it's mine. So I just go in and start fixing the words and changing it so that it works for me. So I'm not clear exactly what it is, but here's what I have. I cleanse the window of my mind, creating a mirror reflecting inspiration from the Most High. And so my prayer partner and I, this is a specific prayer partnering around this daily reading. So 6 a.m. every morning, we meet to read at least some part of it and talk about how it's manifesting in our lives or how we intend to demonstrate it in our lives. And so here's the thing about really working on something, what you give your attention to expands. So I have more opportunities that I can identify as an invitation to practice this, to apply this, yes? So I had planned to tell you about my niece who drives like, my mother would have said a bat out of hell. But I'm not saying that because I'm in the pulpit. But she claims that when I'm in the car with her, that she does not do all the things she would normally do. I'm going to ask y'all to be in a prayer circle around her, because if she does more without me in the car than she does with me in the car, then I'm concerned. But one of the things that she said was, so I've set it up. You see kind of her propensity for driving outside of what the DMV would guide you to do. But this particular time, what she said happened is she got this insight to slow down and followed it. I'm trying to say something, because we all get insights. The key is whether we follow it, whether we do anything with it, okay? So in this particular case, she claims that she actually got the insight and then followed it, slow down. And as she passed, she saw the officer with the radar gun. And so missed that little special interaction that might have been available to her, yes? The key that the reason I'm bringing you this is that it's not until we have something we're working on that brings it to our attention. It's not until we clean the mirror. You understand what I'm saying here about this May 11th reading? It's not until we make a decision to clear it that we can see something that was always there. There's always something there for us. The question is, do we see it? Do we care? So my sense is that this daily read idea is, first of all, putting us in the position of saying, I care. I'm interested in my living. I'm interested in upgrading my living. I'm interested in opening my heart in new ways. I'm interested in testing and proving that it works. If you're not interested, you're not doing anything, you're not paying attention. You know that, just in a GPS kind of way. All the things you pass along the way, and it's not until you're looking for vegan. It's not until you see what I'm saying? It's not until it's on your radar that you're like, what? When they put this here? Now the vegan people are saying, it's been here, girl. but to you it was beneath or above your radar, invisible to you. Is any of this making sense? Yes? All right, so look. So I want to start with Psalm 27, just the first verse. And I'm going to use that to set the tone this far into the talk. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I'm setting this up because I'm hoping there's something here that we will individually and collectively embrace in such a way that it sets the tone for our living. So the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? So the translation would be, I got it all. My back is covered, my front is covered, my top, my bottom. I'm surrounded and enfolded. Why am I tripping? What is it I'm telling myself? What is it I'm choosing to believe about my life? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Now, somebody needs that. I got all this happening in my life. Why am I afraid of what might be in the mail? Why am I checking caller ID? And I don't mean just noticing. I mean some of y'all who really checking it because you're not answering if. And that's the fear about something. Do you see? My life is covered in every way, shape, or form. Who am I afraid of? What? How are we? This empowers us to walk in the world, not foolishly. Hear me now. This is not an invitation to foolishness. It's an invitation to awareness. An awareness that it's already working out. And if you know it's already working out, then you are standing in a different way. You don't need to defend necessarily. Some of the things you thought you would, some of the attitudes, some of the characteristics, some of the beliefs, thoughts and beliefs and behaviors, you now know, I don't even have to do that. I can let this unfold in a way. Is this making sense, y'all? Okay, so look. The reading from May 23rd, the title is, I Do Everything with Reliance on the Law of Good. It is good and juicy. The 24th is, Today I loose all condemnation, I judge not, and I am judged only by the law of God. Now that, I could really, if I were going to really demonstrate, I would just lay out here. But I might not get up because it literally laid me out just with the reminder about letting go of judgment and me realizing in my taking it on how easily and what a slippery slope judgment has been for me and how hard it can be once in it to know that you're in it. It was too easy for me to say, I'm just being clear. I'm just saying what it is. In retrospect, judgment, condemnation, and whether it's accurate is not the point. It's what it does to you from the inside out. Is that making sense? Okay, the 25th, every negative thought or condition is erased from my experience and I walk in the joy of an ever-increasing good. Y'all need to get some of this. Just break off whatever piece you possibly can. And then for today, it is, I lift up my cup of acceptance, knowing that the divine outpouring fills it to the brim. So here's what I'm going to ask of you. I'm going to ask you to simply allow your eyelids to close because I'm going to ask you to imagine. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. I'm going to ask you to imagine your cup. What is this cup that you're willing to have filled to overflowing? My cup runneth over. What's your cup? Your cup is not my cup. My cup is not your cup. His cup is not her cup. Their cup is not their cup. We don't share a cup. So just with your eyelids closed in this moment, imagine your cup. It may have your initial on it. It may have your name on it. It may have an affirmation. What's your cup? I'm less interested in how big it is, but of course, if you're imagining it, it has some shape and form to it. So it's your cup. Envision it now. So you got your cup in mind. Now list it. Now list it just as if there's a picture of good that's going around. You know, like in a restaurant or in someone's home when they're bringing around the pitcher of lemonade or sweet tea or whatever it is, and they're offering you some, and you raise your cup to receive it. So now in your mind's eye, you are lifting your cup to receive this good. Now this good may be a healing in the body temple. It may be a healing on an emotional level. It may be the healing of a relationship. It may be the calling forth of a relationship. It may be. What is it for you? In your mind's eye, you are lifting your cup. A clear indication of your receptivity to good. And now just breathe that in and feel the acceptance, your inner acceptance of the good that is pouring out. And now you have presented your vessel, your willingness, your receptivity. In your heart mind, give thanks. Whatever that means to you, give thanks. And then I invite you back to present time. In this place, it might help if you rub your palms of your hands together just to ground you, because some of y'all may have gone way off and deep into it, and this is a good thing. But just back here now, one of my concerns often around this quality of reading and affirmation, this offering by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker, 365 Days for Richer Living. Often the question that haunts folks is how? Oh, that's good. Clean the mirror of my mind. Oh, that sounds good. All that you read sound good, Rev. All that. Today I loose condemnation, I judge not. All that sounds good. How am I going to do that? Given my life, part of it is we have to imagine it in a different way. We got to see it. You got to see it. You're not going to be it if you can't see it. You just aren't. I wish they taught us this in kindergarten and then reinforced it. They didn't, so you got to get in when you can. This is the truth teaching. That in order to have the shift, whatever is your heart's desire, you must see yourself in that outcome. You must see yourself as worthy of that. If I had money for, when I was coaching and had a practitioner practice, for all of the times that what it really amounted to was that folks just couldn't see themselves as deserving the life that they were praying for. So if you're not deserving of whatever your heart's desire is, if you don't see yourself as deserving, let me say this first. If you have a heart's desire, and we all do, you're deserving of that. You're not given a heart's desire that you don't deserve. But that doesn't mean you feel deserving. Here's the key. You can't have it until you feel deserving. It will escape your grasp because your deservability has everything to do with your receptivity. Is this making sense? Yes. Y'all at home, let me pause for just a second. Is there a question about this? For real. Is there a question about anything that I've said, but particularly this notion of deservability and the way that it is linked to receptivity? Suzette. Oh, sis. Thank you, Danielle. I'm going to ask you to hold for just a second because a mic is coming to you. Because the folks at home are already leaning in. I see y'all leaning in like, what'd she say? Who, what? Okay, here we go. Right here. Thank you.
To be clear, this was a very emergent question in my mind.
Okay.
But I guess I'm wondering, I don't know, there's something about imagination to me.
Yes.
Around what you feel like you deserve versus what you can even imagine, because it's like it feels like you have to prepare yourself in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But if you don't necessarily have models of all those ways
Right.
to prepare oneself, like what should you be doing?
I'm sorry, the last part of that.
Oh, what should you be doing then? Like in terms of like helping you to even imagine how to be able to receive it, or I don't know, maybe imagination isn't the first step, but
that's a great question. Here's the thing. I'm using imagination, one, because it works, and two, because we all already know how to do it. We all are masters of imagination. In fact, most of the time when we are most afraid, like when our knees are knocking, the thing is not happening. We are imagining the thing. So we have like advanced doctorates in imagining. So there's like not a lesson required, not a little class or anything. It simply is shifting the priority, shifting the intention from allowing our mind to entertain whatever pops up to I'm going to direct it to have this be my regular view that I'm going to continue to upgrade. So I'll give you an example that's just coming to me, and my sense is that when things come this way, there's somebody for whom this is beneficial. So we're going to talk health and well-being. So often, by the time somebody really is engaged in a challenge, what they consider a challenge with health and well-being, they have now moved to seeing new people. Meaning, I don't mean people like dating. I mean seeing medical professionals that they've never seen before. The progression can often be, so you're seeing a nurse practitioner, you're seeing your GP, yes? And then they refer you. Now, you've never seen this person before, you don't have a relationship. This individual they have a groove. And very specifically now, much more now, that we no longer practice health and practice medicine now, they really have a more narrow groove than ever before. So now here you are talking, they're telling you, they're setting up, they're painting a picture for you. When someone paints a picture for you, your imagination meets it. This is why I'm going to pause here and remind y'all, at that point, you do not go to those doctor appointments alone. You need to go with someone at practitioner level. It doesn't have to be a practitioner, but it needs to be somebody who knows how to pray no matter what they hear. No matter what they hear, no matter what the doctor is telling you. So somebody's taking notes, and you are probably not, you're just not. White coats and stethoscopes for some folks it wipes out their ability to hold to their highest intention. Is this making sense? Okay, so here you are in that situation. Now you are either going to imagine what they're saying, which often, as a professional, they start with worst case scenario. And then they work themselves. They must teach that. Because it's pretty consistent. Or somebody gave the seminar and said, here's the way to do it. Don't start with the highest possible outcome. Start with the lowest possible outcome and then work your way. So your mind the mind that you haven't trained yet, that you haven't consistently engaged in an intentional way, will go wherever. It's like an untrained dog. just the car goes, off it chases. It thinks it sees a squirrel, off it goes. It's barking at stuff. It's doing all that. But have you ever seen the dog that's well trained? Yeah. And you don't even hear the master. You just. You want your mind responding to you like that. When it runs on over there like, oh, they're not gonna refinance my whatever, and the interest rate this, and the this, that, and the neighborhood this, and my credit that, and all of that. Yeah, just whirling and going. You're like, you better get over here. Get right here. Now, what were we affirming? I bought a house that wasn't for sale. Y'all better help me out with this, with money for a house that couldn't be sold. And what? Everybody was happy. So what's the point in affirming that if you're going to believe what any real estate person or your neighbor or somebody on BART tells you? It's get back over here. You know what we're declaring. I need to hear you say it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to take charge. It's a form of taking dominion so that life is not happening to you, but you are ensuring what happens in your life. That's what dominion is. Yeah? Okay, so imagination. Don't act like you don't know. Because you can already imagine something about me. All it takes, do you see what I'm saying? You know we do this. You've imagined something about it. Everything you've seen, you've imagined something about it. And some of it you haven't even seen. Your imagination is just going all the time. The key is to reel that baby in. Reel it in and say, now you work for me. I'm going to need you to do thus and such. Because you're good. Now talk to it like you mean it, because you're good. I see you out there imagining stuff. But I'm going to have to get you to stop scaring me and instead lift me up. Does it make sense if we just do it that way? All right. So thank you for the question. So look, thank you for the question. A lot of folks were just healed in the question. Yes? So I'm often thinking, the trainer in me is often thinking, so how do I convey what in its own way is really, when we get to it, if we were in a class, in a seminar about this, there's more complexity, if you will. There's some points that we want to cover in depth and some activities we'd want to have for practice so that you could feel the difference and all of that. Yes? We don't have time for that on Sunday morning. So look. Here's what I'm thinking. We don't. I drag it out as it is. I dang near make it a little seminar as it is. So don't encourage me. Please, whatever you do not encourage me to make this into something other than what it ought to be. So look, I'm thinking, so how do I help? What are some of the things that have helped me? Spirit said 23rd Psalm. 23rd Psalm. So y'all know, I mean, you may not know it so that you could recite it all the way the King James Version does, but you got a good sense of what it is, yes? So here's what I want to encourage you to do, is to write your own psalm. Because the psalms that we read are David's prayers. It's David's exaltations. Where's yours? So you can certainly draw from what got David up and out. Do you understand what this is? This is what we say to ourselves about life. That in our saying of it, because what, Eddie? It's an inside job. So when we are tuned into the inside, what would move me from despair? What would move me from doubt? What would move me from fear? What would change? Because, you could awaken with a concern. What would support me in not diving into the concern so that I make it a fear or a doubt, but instead to see it through new eyes, to have a different sense of who I am, how I am in this situation. This is, get over here, mind, help me out. It's using your thoughts for good, for your highest and best. And you'll continue to upgrade it. What you did yesterday and day before and last week will pale by what you'll be doing this time next month if you take this on. You'll continue to upgrade your commitment, your intentionality, yes, and thus change your outcomes. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to encourage you, assign, insist, voluntold you, all of that, whatever it takes in order to do it. I'm going to share one of my versions of, in Scripture it will say 23rd Psalm, a Psalm of David. This is 23rd Psalm, a Psalm of Andrea. So look, watch this. I call this an ARE, my initials translation. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not trip. All my needs are met. I have all I need. He brings me to green meadows, fertile ground, and has me rest there. He leads me beside peaceful streams and still waters. This centers me in peace and calm. And I can address my world from a different vantage point with a different intention. He renews my strength and restores my resolve. Then he guides me along the paths of truth, demonstrating his name and nature. Then verse 4 in King James and others shifts from he to you. The pronoun changes. You understand what I'm saying? So before, David, in his version, and me and mine, is talking about this power. Now it switches to talking to it. Here we go. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, the valley of death, I am not afraid. See, you're kicking in your imagination when you do this. You're not just reading this. You're kicking in because when I closed my eyes, I saw it. Because who here hadn't been through the valley of death already? You see what I'm saying? So you got a picture in mind of what that is for you. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, even the valley of death, I am not afraid, for you are always close beside me, within, around, and through me. Your power, your rod, your staff offer protection and correction. And this is comforting to me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of mine enemies. I need to talk about that for just a second. Because what this is saying for me is I don't need to do nothing about them. I don't need to prove nothing to them. I don't need to have nobody tell them nothing. I don't need to show them nothing. What? Because this power that surrounds and enfolds and imbues me is doing the work. It's preparing whatever needs to be prepared for this. For the people who like me, for the people who don't, for the people who don't know me, for the people who... You see what I'm saying? You don't need to do nothing with that. So I feel like that's like the answer to the question, but yeah, what about? It's like I'm going to prepare a table in front of all that. Just what else? Oh, nothing. I'm good then. Thank you. You see this? You honor me by anointing my head with oil. Now, in African spirituality, Yoruba, with the Orishas, the Ori is the head, but what it represents is our intuition and our destiny. So this is what, imagination, this is what comes up for me. When thou anointest my head, it's not just putting oil on my hair and oil in my scalp. It ain't that. It's instead anointing my intuition. It's blessing it. It's unlocking the whole good. Yeah? Okay, all right. My cup, remember our cup? Everybody, lift your cup in your mind. You lift it, you can lift your hand if you want, or just in your mind's eye. Hear this part. My cup overflows with blessings on blessings on blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love continues to follow and what? Pursue me. So it's going to follow me, but even if I go off track, see, I needed that part in mind. Y'all probably don't need a pursuit because y'all probably just to be followed and have it beside you and know that is enough. I'm a special case. And sometimes I just run off. The good is following me, and I'm like, what you doing? Leave me alone. All that foolishness. So my good in my psalm pursues me. Because sometimes it has to. I'm just saying. I wish y'all didn't know that about me, but now you do. All the days, and it pursues me all the days of my life. Even as I live in the house of the Lord. And Lord, of course, like translates to law. And so it's about living in the consciousness and within, all about the law of love. For how long? Forever and ever and ever. Amen. Eddie Watkins Jr., I am walking with spirit. That's the idea here, isn't it? He says, when I find myself in one of those situations, I'm going to need you to get to the piano or to something. I need you to get ready because I'm going to tell the people just this little bit about it. This notion, what I've been talking about is walking with spirit because spirit is in, around, and through each and every one of us. And this is y'all are just, it's following you. It's leading you. It's pursuing me out of necessity, unfortunately. He writes, when I find myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama of confrontation, I go within and get checked into my friend before it's too late. And friend in this context is the divine. I put spirit in front of me to make those crooked places straight. Eddie, you better write, baby. That's all I can say. You better write some lyrics. This is Eddie Watkins Jr.
I'm walking the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Well, I'm walking the Spirit. I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama or confrontation, I go within and get plugged into my friend before it's too late. I put the Spirit in front of me to make those crooked places straight. I'm walking the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing with the Spirit, and it shows up, it's showing. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations where I don't know what to do and got no explanation, I go within and get plugged in for a revelation. And 10 times out of 9, things will work out fine without my participation. I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm learning, and I'm turning, I'm growing, and it's showing. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Do da ba ba, do da ba, do da ba 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 ba, do da ba da da, tap tap do da, do da shop ba ba do da, jap jap dip dip ba da da ba da da da, jip 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 tap jip da, jip jap dip ba ba da ba da ba, dilly 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 ba. I'm walking, I'm talking, and I'm learning, and I'm turning, zip dip da ba da 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 da, and so I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Amen. Woo!